Today on Talk to Me, entrepreneurs are on trial. Would you be found guilty? Let's find out, and we're going to find out because today we're talking about guilty of service excellence. But my friend Lisa told me I need to change that to mediocrity, so we will. But before we do that, today's show is sponsored by the Solutionist Portal Group Coaching. We're going to help you close the gap between your desires and your reality. It's only going to cost you $97 a month for the first 150 people. You want to get in while the price is still low. Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm your host, Brenda, the Solutionist. And today, I may be just a little bit out of sorts because I had to revamp my whole show because Lisa said my premise was wrong. But that's not unusual. That's the best thing about having a partner. They will help you when you tow up in the streets and get you right on track. So I'm going to bring her up because my title originally was, Are You Guilty of Service Excellence? But Lisa says, no. Are you guilty of mediocrity? Come on, let's see what Lisa's saying. Hey, Lisa.
Sometimes, Brenda, I just can't.
I know you can't. But for those of you listening that can, check this. I'm reporting a crime, you guys. I have been on social media and I have seen evidence of poor service excellence and just plain old mediocrity. So I felt the need to come on here and talk about it today with my friend Lisa because I need help, Lisa. I need help. So I'm asking people a few questions. Here's one. Would you be found guilty of service mediocrity if we went on your social media? If we looked at your flyers or if we were presented with your product or service? And then I just had to say, Lisa, that this week has been a test of my patience. Because if you tell me that if I go to your website and I'm going to get 2,000, you hear what I said, Lisa? 2,000 AI prompts. I thought it was just a misprint. Maybe it was 200. I don't know. But with all the AI stuff coming out, we got people writing prompts left, right, and, all over the place. But this one guy's actually out there selling AI prompts, an outrageous number. But when you go to it, guess what? You pay for it, and then the link is broke. Now, that was just one of many. Outside of that, Lisa, I went to a couple of websites where the links were broke. Now, mind you, I've been guilty of myself where my link didn't work and somebody let me know. But when you click on a website and every link on the website is broke, Lisa, that's a problem. I know that's not y'all that watch this show because y'all are on top of y'all's game. But Lisa, I thought today what we would do is take a hard look at some entrepreneurial practices to determine if the people that we're going to talk to today, are they entrepreneurs in excellence or could they defend themselves for mediocrity? Lisa, are you ready to have this conversation?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you even remotely tell me that it was you who went to the link to buy 2,000 prompts, I'm going to come through this screen.
No, it wasn't me.
Somebody told you about it.
No, I was scrolling Facebook like I have a tendency to do to check out what my fellow entrepreneurs are doing. And someone was having a fit because of this. And I was so curious. I had to go to the link and see. I did not pay any money. But when I went to the link, I saw a whole lot of bad reviews on Facebook, etc. And I Googled them. People are not happy with this guy. Apparently, they all paid their money. And one guy said it was like throwing your money into a fireplace because you didn't get it back. It was a small amount, but it was still small enough that based on the number of people that wanted the prompts, Lisa, he made a lot of money. And it doesn't seem like anybody got even one prompt. But here's a secret for you guys. Guess what? You can actually go to the Gemini, Chat GPT and all of it, and just ask them to create some prompts for you and it'll do it for you. You just got to ask. They're very compliant. Lisa?
I was just making sure because, that freaked me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
I know. And what we're going to talk about, though, you guys, is some of the things that you can do to make sure your service excellence is in place. So let's start with the first thing, Lisa, that I wrote down. Now, mind you, these are in no particular order, and they're not the only things, but there are the few things that struck me as these are important so that you can show service excellence for yourself, for your customer. I started with, can you define your unique value proposition? Lisa, so many entrepreneurs that I talk to can't tell me what they do, why they do, and why it serves me. And I wanted to make sure that I wrote that uh, value proposition is just telling people how you stand out differently. But I wrote down a real definition that comes out of one of them books I've been reading. And it says a clear, compelling statement that explains how your product or service benefits the customer or the industry it's intended to provide a service or product to. Lisa, you want to talk about the value proposition? Because I know you do a lot of work with your clients about that.
I will tell you the unique value proposition has really been one of the hardest things for people to create. And when you want to talk about mediocrity or service excellence, that if you give somebody a unique value proposition and you say that the benefit of coming to you is a tailored approach. So I'm going to use me as an example, as well as your solutionist portal. Both are the same thing. One of the things as part of our unique selling proposition is our tailored approach specifically for the entrepreneur. If you look at it from that lens, if you come to me and I give you something cookie cutter, that's going to be a real big problem. Whatever it is that you say for your unique selling proposition, it really has to be unique value proposition. Sorry. It really has to be unique to you. It has to be what you offer that nobody else does.
And Lisa, the other day in one of my classes, they were talking about that. And when I said that I work for, what is it? I used the word, I got to get my words right, you guys. I said that I help people go through the transformation process by fostering authenticity, that I help them nurture their passions, that I use a holistic approach, that I develop community, and I do it over multiple platforms. And the guy was like, that's not unique. I said, but I do it as me, Brenda, the solutionist. And that is unique to me because nobody can be a better me. No one has my unique experiences and the way I do things. They don't have my brain, et cetera, et cetera. And he did a little bit of pushback on that. However, after we sat through a little bit a while, and I'm actually in the process of working on streamlining my unique value proposition. But what that class taught me was that there are a lot of people that are life coaching, that are transformational coaches, that are keynote speakers, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes it does simply come down to that, although you're all of that, it's you and your authentic self that makes you the biggest part of the equation of your value proposition. So, and if you are not representing yourself well with your branding, with your social media, with how you show up in the world, that could affect your service excellence. The next thing that we have on here, oh, excuse me, Lisa, is, are you focused on customer satisfaction? Lisa, sometimes I am amazed at people's lack of concern for their customers. I recently had an experience with someone that I purchased something with, and it was a small business. And the young lady basically told me that I just had to wait till she had time to get to me. I thought that was the wrong answer. Young lady, you do know I have a podcast, right?
More importantly, I want my money back.
That part too. But you know what? I did decide I was not going to trash her, but I did send her a nice little email explaining that was not the best way for her to do business in the future. And that had I been somebody else, her business would have been all over my podcast and everybody would have known her poor customer service. And you know what was interesting to me, Lisa, was after I sent her that email, she had the nerve to say, oh, I did not know it was you. Hey, Brenda, yada, 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 yada. And then, of course, it went back and forth. It didn't matter if it was me, because it shouldn't be about being a respecter of person. It should be about the level of customer service that you provide to each and every customer that purchases your product or service. What are your thoughts, Lisa?
I totally agree. Customer service is one of those challenges we're in right now because people are so overwhelmed. And I don't think I've ever seen in my lifetime where people don't like people. You
Mm,
know, I was at fillet, chicken
Chick
fillet,
fil A.
anyway, Chick fil A. Thank you.
Chick fil A. Love those
On
waffle fries.
on their window, they actually had a sign, "Be kind, at least we're at work today."
Oh my
And I
goodness.
thought, you could not have said it better if I tried hard.
Mm,
It was one of those moments where you have to realize that if something goes wrong, if you are not the type of person who can adjust, you should not be the direct customer service person.
mm,
If you guys have had, and businesses have done this periodically, they start getting behind, whether it's a supply issue or whether it's something else, they start getting behind, and that becomes a really big problem. And then they get so overwhelmed because no longer is it just one customer who's complaining. You know, they've always said that it just takes one single complaint to take an entire corporation down.
mm. I
Because
mean,
how, if you think about all the times people will put on Yelp or something else, your service has to be really, really good or really, really bad.
that's the truth. And that brings us to one of the things about our next question here is about, do you invest in continuous improvement? Putting up that sign is one thing, Lisa, but are you improving your product? Are you improving your service? A lot of times, people, especially nowadays with the work at home thing, people will just get one thing that's making them money and they'll keep doing that over and over again without any thoughts to the changes and upgrades. This week, I spoke about changes on Instagram because I was having so many and some Robin has a comment about Chick-fil-A. I want to put that. Chick-fil-A is a gold standard for customer service. Yes, they are.
I agree.
They have so where was my see, I lost my train of thought. See, I had to get up. What was I talking about, Lisa?
You were
Oh,
talking about
improve your service. Yeah, thank you. See, y'all, this is gonna be one of them days, y'all. Look, they get in there, they do one thing, make some money, and they just keep doing it over without the ideal about changes. And this week I spoke about changes because every time I turn around, the software I've been using have been updating, trying to improve it or whatever. And with AI out there, something that you're doing today may actually be obsolete as little as 24 hours later with a new AI upgrade. So it's important to stay on top of things and make sure that you are improving your product and service at least periodically, if not, every other day, like some of the software I'm having to deal with.
No, and that's true. And when you think about excellent service, excellent products and services, or mediocrity when it
Mhm.
comes to product and services, stale, in other words, you keep offering the same thing and just making a couple of minor wording adjustments opposed to actual changes. It's funny because there was almost a 10 or 15-year span where Tony Robbins' information was identical regardless
Mhm.
of when you went to it. And I'm a Tony Robbins fanatic, let's just face it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting. I mean, there was like no change whatsoever.
They changed
And
the cover, Lisa.
yep, the change of cover did happen. I agree, but the information was the same. But the reality is, Tony Robbins is very generic in what he does, and
Mhm.
it's because there's
Allegedly. We're saying that for legal reasons. Allegedly.
allegedly. Based on the information and things I've bought over the years, they're
Mhm.
repeats. But what he's done the last maybe 5 years or back, he's gone in and he's revamped it, still saying the same thing because the same
Mhm.
thing is still valid. He's
It's
not
still valid.
changing his mind on the way he does things. He's just coming up with different ways to actually teach it. So your customer is going to know that. I mean, if somebody likes what you do or a product or service you offer, they're going to go back to you. And if it's the same thing they already purchased, they're gonna make comments about it. So don't just change the cover. Don't just change a couple of words. do a complete refresh.
But see, that's valid though, because there are some products and services, like you said, Lisa, that they stand the test of time. And we can use, like, for one of the digital projects, everyone, well, not everyone, but most people know about SMART goals. I mean, you could rearrange the letters, it just wouldn't be SMART goals anymore that way. It's still going to be maybe the same process. But the point is, the SMART goal was a SMART goal back in when I was in 1980 in high school, and it still is now. But there comes a time when you really need to, and Robin did my allegedly with me. You ain't trying to get sued, you know. I want to keep my podcast. And the thing about that, Lisa, is if you have a product that really doesn't change, then that's a valid reason to, hold the line. If, for example, if you sell golden apples, for example, made out of resin, and it's a particular resin, and it's been selling for the last 20 years, there's probably no reason to upgrade it. However, if you notice that sales are falling off of your golden apple, you may want to add a leaf. You want to do something a little bit different that's going to make people interested in that product again. Give it a little refresh or updo or something to make it. Because, I think about Disney and Mickey Mouse. Look at all the evolutions of Mickey Mouse since I was a little girl. I'm 61 now, so I've seen Mickey change. Him and Minnie didn't change their little outfits slightly, or the ears are shaped, different things. But as times changed, they upgraded. Some entrepreneurs do not understand the value of the upgrade. And it's very clear because they're doing the same thing that they were doing back in 1952. And it is time for a change, Lisa. Let that stuff rest in peace. Okay, moving to the next thing. Are you building strong relationships? Now, I could sit here all day because I'm a people person. I think it's so important for service excellence to move out of this transactional way of thinking. You've taught me a lot about education, marketing, relationship networking, and things of that matter. And you build relationships when you begin to networking, where it's not always about the get, but you understand the value of the give.
I totally agree. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. And it's funny because building relationships for people like me is extremely difficult because relationship is not one of my strengths. In fact, it's one of my challenges. And that's why education marketing is a perfect way to build relationships if you are not a people person. If you do not have that skill set to really take that relationship outside of, let's say, LinkedIn, what you can do is you can provide information, valuable information to others. And that actually begins to build that trust. It builds that relationship. It builds that community that you're looking for.
And look, Robin here says, I'm not a people person, but I've learned to build a client relationship to help them. And Robin, that's important. And Robin's over there at All Aspects Tax Service. Whoop, whoop. I got it right this time, Robin. Check me out. I'm applauding myself, y'all. You need to put your information in the chat there for Robin. But she has to build relationships because you cannot do somebody's taxes and not build a relationship. She has a business that, even if that's not her forte, that's something that she really had to hone in on, or she's not going to have a lot of customers. Not only that, Lisa, that's why what we do in the Solutionist Portal by having people use strength finders as an assessment helps us get an idea of who's who. So those people that may be challenged with building relationships, unlike me, I would know, because I just assumed everybody was like me. They haven't met a stranger. But the truth is, there are people that are introverted or just are not feeling people like that.
Oh, yeah. No.
And sometimes that can be a problem, but having that assessment will help you know kind of where people stand on things of that nature so that you can help them move past that.
Absolutely. And I love strength finders because that's so important.
She says, I build relationships with my clients because it's the only way to make the money. Absolutely.
And the fact that we are in April tells you the relationship she has with you, because you are sitting here on April 5th and she's actually listening to you.
You know what? That's right. Thank you, Robin, taking time out your busy schedule to be here with Lisa and I as we talk about service excellence and people not being mediocre, because it's just something that has been burning my butt. Can you tell? I'm not bitter much, am I? I could be just a little bit. But Robin, make sure you put your information, unless you just don't want no more business, because she is an entrepreneur extraordinaire and she helps people keep more of their cash so they can make their business last. And I love that. Okay. The other thing that we want to talk about is for service excellence, are you demonstrating integrity and transparency? I'm going to read that one again, Lisa, for those in the back that may not have heard me. Are you demonstrating integrity and transparency? I'm so sick of the lies. You see my face, Lisa?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
speaking. I'm speaking to you entrepreneurs that may or may not be watching right now, or the ones that's going to see this on replay. Would you stop lying to folks? If you know you are not a six-figure coach, stop lying. If you know that your product is not worth the time of day it takes to call it a product, tell the truth. Okay? Or get some help so that you can get a better product so that you can become a six-figure coach. But stop misrepresenting yourselves, because it just make you look bad. It makes your business look bad, and there is help available. How about that, Lisa? Are you going to get me today, aren't you? When the camera goes off, I'm going to get a spanking, y'all, but it's okay. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm on my high horse. I'm on my soapbox, because this week, y'all, I have seen and heard so much drama and kaflama. This is going over LinkedIn, so I want y'all LinkedIn folks to hear this really clearly. It is so important how we represent ourselves, and I know that. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm showing other people how to do it as well. However, the one thing that I have refused to do is lie about my abilities. If I can't do it, I will clearly tell a client I can't do it. I will say I am blessed, that God has given me lots of gifts, so there's not too many things I have to say I can't. But when I do say that I can't do something, I refer them to somebody who can, because it's important as entrepreneurs to know who are the experts, who do have the skills. You don't have to do it all, but we need to stop trying to do everything, because Lisa, as you taught me, if I'm trying to serve everybody, I'm not serving anybody.
No, that's true. And I think the transparency aspect is also just as important. If you want to talk about mediocrity opposed to excellence, the transparency is a critical aspect of that. A lot of times when it comes to transparency, we do not always put the information out there front and center. And that's important. If there's something that you've told somebody that you can do and you're not doing it, and you haven't told them, sorry, I can't do it, then that's a problem. You have to be transparent as to your reasoning. And I think that that's probably the most important thing. Integrity is always critical, because it's going to come back to you. That goes without saying. It will always bounce back to you. But transparency, be upfront, be honest, be transparent about what you're doing, especially in the aspect of a product or a service. That goes back to part of customer service as well.
Now, Lisa, we've hit all the things that I really wanted to point out. Was there something, as I was going through this list, because you didn't get an advance warning, so is there something that you say, Brenda, you should have mentioned this?
I think that the most important thing that I like people to do, especially if you're trying to decide the mediocre opposed to the excellence, is to really look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is my business? Is it mediocre? Can I do better? Or am I providing the excellence that I tell everybody I am providing? It is okay if you are not providing the excellence you're telling people if you fix it. But that, I think, it's really hard. And I'm going to use the word that I absolutely hate with a passion, and that's the self-integrity word. I will still never forgive you for that. Just tossing it out there again.
I do what I do.
But I would take a little self-integrity check. with with your business and what you're doing and how you're doing it, because I think that that's the most important thing, especially when it comes to excellence and mediocrity, because I can be me, I can do the bare minimum, and
Mhm.
I and still get away with it. And I don't want you to look at yourself against somebody else. I want you to look at yourself against yourself.
And Lisa, that's where the self integrity thing came in for me, because there was a time when I realized I had to stand in front of a full length mirror and get clear on my own capabilities, what I could do, what I couldn't do. Like I said, I'm really feel blessed because I have a lot of gifts. And at one time, as you know, I was editing and auditing videos, I was creating documentaries, I was speaking, teaching, you name it, I was doing it. I had no vision. But more importantly, I had no strategy, I had no structure, no systems, because this was more of a hobby. And because of you, I had to get clear on what services I provided and made sure that I was um, doing that within the guise of, as you said, the word that I hate, niche. I don't like that word, y'all. That's like, what's the point? But I understand now why in business it's important to specialize. You're not going to go to a general doctor if you need heart surgery. You want to go to a cardiologist. So when you try to do everything for everybody, people don't have the confidence that you can necessarily do what you say you can do. So when I began to niche down and develop some clear strategies, some clear structures, and some clear systems for my business, and I was able to show that to the clients, I felt like I was more in service excellence in the area that I wanted to work in. And that brings us to our question here. If you were called to the witness stand, could you defend yourself against a charge of mediocrity? I think I could, Lisa. How about you?
Oh, I absolutely can.
Yes, I know you can. And here's the best part for those of you that are still here with us or going to listen to this on a replay. If you need help with your defense, I'm Brenda the Solutionist, and I'm here helping entrepreneurs craft service excellence strategies one business at a time within one of my favorite places, the Solutionist Portal. And here it is. I have two options for people. You can join my life community. That's where we're leveraging impact for entrepreneurs. It's absolutely free. And inside this community, I'm still going to teach you how to make money in your sleep. You can scan that code in the middle to get information. Or if you are in need of some group coaching, you need some more detail where we can help your business go from thriving and not just surviving, where we can take you from being popular to being paid and popular, then you want to join my Solutionist Portal where you'll meet other like-minded individuals. It's only $97 a month for the first 150 people. When I get to that 150th person, I'm going to close the door, and then we're going to increase the prices for everybody thereafter, because we're going to have the founders that we need to make this portal really glow and grow. And Lisa, I'm excited about this because one of the questions I was asked recently was, why this? We see so many entrepreneurs that are struggling with service excellence because they don't know how to do funnels. They don't understand the ins and outs of marketing or branding. Heck, most of them, like us, don't even have proper calls to action. When we first started, we didn't know we were supposed to ask people for money, but now we do, and we know how to do it.
Well, wait a minute. I want to clarify that we knew, we just didn't do it. Let's just be real.
Well, I would say that's right. We knew it. We just didn't do it. So inside the portal, we teach you those kind of things, and there's so much. We have frameworks and structures. And if you want more information, just go to my website, and then you can book a clarity call or something, strategy call, free and paid ones. We have them. But I want you to come in there and get the support you need with other people that are on the same journey as you. Lisa, if people are seeking guidance, need resources, and they're committed to service excellence, I believe the Solutionist Portal is going to be a great place for them to embrace feedback, adopt practices that's going to help them grow their revenue, help them save time and money, and continually evolve in a way that will improve their service excellence and never get a charge of being guilty of mediocrity.
And I would agree 100% that that would be true if they took action on the information you provided them.
Well, You know what, Lisa? I told you before, I have decided to no longer be tied to other people's outcomes. But what I am tied to is helping people make informed decisions. So if you want to make a decision for making an investment in yourself, come hang out with me for a year. It's only $97 a month, no contracts, and see what you can do. And here's what I want you to think about. And I really want you to think about this. Where will you be a year from now if you don't? That's it. Lisa, your closing thoughts?
Investing yourself is all I can say. That you are the most important person, and investing in yourself is always going to benefit you.
I see, before we go, I see a question here. It says the show only 90 said yes. And let me tell you why. This here is my coach, because coaches need coaches. Coach Emmanuel, he's no joke. The reason, Coach, I charged it at $97 is because it's a mandate for me. This is a ministry. And I had a dream that I was supposed to help 150 people over the next year and do it at a price that they gave them no excuse. When those doors shut, it's going to go up to $450. And we want this price because we are walking the dog. That's what my mother used to call it. When you take somebody step by step and you take them through the paces, I want people to come in and eat the meat and spit out the bones. And they're going to walk away going, I can't believe this woman gave us all of this for $97. We have experts coming in. We have all kind of things that are going to be about beyond what is advertised that the first 150 people are going to get. They're going to get assessments. They're going to be getting all kinds of coaching opportunities. We're going to create spaces for them to speak, because a lot of entrepreneurs want to be keynote speakers, but they don't know how to craft a keynote speech. We're going to be teaching them that. There's so much more. I don't want to give it all away, but I will tell you this. The people that come in are going to be taught how to make money in their sleep. I'm also making an opportunity for people like you, Coach, that may not need that particular thing. I'm calling them ambassadors. Those are the people that will come in to the life community, the free area, and just help other people get connected with me. Because when they come in and join and pay the monthly fee, you get a 10% affiliate fee. Every time they pay me, you get paid. So we all make money together. And I'm excited to see Matthew Kern is watching now. He is the founder of the Convene Communities. And it's an exciting time for all of us over there at Convene Communities now, because we are building this platform with a purpose to be a place where entrepreneurs, teachers, we have a new community called Chosen Hearts that's for parents with special needs children. There is so much going on. Convene. We have wellness coaches, we have chiropractors, we have doctors, you name it, we have it over there. And you will have access to that. I think it's amazing that someone could come into my free community and get access to over 3,000 people automatically. And when you come into the paid community, there's even more. There's next levels behind the closed doors. So yes, it's $97 a month, no contract. If someone comes in, Coach, and they don't want to stay, we release them to the higher power and let them go on. For the people that have asked the question, what if somebody comes in and downloads all the stuff? I said, have at it, because we know those people that do that, they're not implementers anyway. They're going to download and sit on it. Because here's the one thing I do know for sure, and Lisa, feel free to chime in here and take a few extra minutes. Hey, Matt, the people that will do something like that are not implementers. They're not going to take action. They're just takers. So they can take anything they want. It's not going to help them. But the people that come in and really want the support, that really want the help, and there go Coach saying he's an ambassador here. I love that. Thank you, Coach. That really want the help and the support, they're going to see their businesses grow. And a year from now, people are going to be amazed at what we've been able to accomplish, because as a collective, we're going to be able. I'm talking to them about the STOP. This is one of my frameworks. I'm going to do this and then we're going to get out of here, Lisa, because I know you probably got to go. The STOP framework I'm teaching in there, that's where you standardize your processes. You integrate technologies. You optimize your business. That's TOP. All right. And then you prepare for performance, and you're reviewing and monitoring your performance. That's just one of the many frameworks outside of the TAPIN and the Make the Shift frameworks and all the things that we have just waiting to teach people strategies, structures, and systems, because we want you to be able to rinse and repeat. You shouldn't have to ask 6 people how to do a funnel. If you go to one more webinar on how to do a funnel when it's a simple flow chart, I'm going to scream. There's so many people out here charging you to give you the what, which we do in some cases there. In the life community, I'm being perfectly transparent here, Lisa. The purpose of the life community is to get you, and I'm gonna tell you the what in the life community. But if you want the how, you're gonna have to go behind the paywall and get it. But we're gonna put you some hows in life too, because I don't want you leaving out there hanging in the wind. But for the real hows, you come into the portal, and that's where you're gonna get the support, where you can reach out, you can talk to me, you'll have access to a message board where you can ask questions anonymously or as yourself. There's just so much in there for people to be able to grow and to close the gaps between their desires and their reality, so that they don't have to figure it out by themselves. Too many of y'all are trying to do it by yourselves, and you're looking tore up in the streets, and you don't have to be. So if it's branding you need, I don't care what stage you're in, we will be supporting you, because we're not going to, we're proud military, Lisa and I. It's no man left behind. If you come in and you have a fully fledged business and you need a specific thing, you may need a VA. We're not VAs, but guess what? We know people that have VAs. You may need graphics help or whatever. We know people that do that. We are a resource, and we're going to make sure you get what you need. And the other thing we do not do, Coach, we don't reinvent the wheel. I'm not writing your business plan for you, but I know where you can go to get the business plan written. We can take you to where you can get it free, or you can pay somebody to do it for you lazy folks. You get to decide. The key is, inside the portal, we're going to keep it honest, and we're going to meet you right where you are. Right now, we have a lady that's been in business for over 3 years. She has no social media whatsoever. So we're going to help her build that out. I have another lady been in business for 30 years. She has LinkedIn and hasn't made a post in 15 years. Come on. Those are the things that when you're figuring your business is not moving, we do deep dives into your social media, your websites, whatever it is. We want to help you be the best version of yourself. We want you to live your best life now. And if you've listened to me anytime, you know now is no opportunity wasted. And the other part is, because I'm dragging my friend along, Lisa's going to be in there. People pay Lisa a lot of money, and she sits here with me and entertains me on a regular. But she has graciously donated her services to help the people in the portal as well. And I have a lot of other phenomenal coaches and stuff that are going to be coming in and pouring into the people there. People are going to be surprised. And if you don't take one of them 150 seats, when this fill up, you're going to kick yourself, because you're going to say, I should have been there. I'll tell you this one last story, Lisa, I'm going to get out of here. Back in the day, I was in the Marine Corps. I think it was 1980 something. I know that because it was when I was my first assignment at Headquarters Marine Corps, somewhere between 80 and 82. Y'all remember a little business, something called BET, Black Entertainment Network? Well, I was one of them crazy folks that said, nobody gonna look at Black Entertainment TV. One of my fellow Marines wanted me to invest $100, and I wouldn't do it. Instead, that night, I went to Georgetown, went to the Blues Alley, and bought a pizza and a pitcher of beer for $100. How many hours later did I poop that out? Well, my friend invested up $100. They're a multimillionaire now from that one investment. Don't miss out on the opportunity on the ground floor, because we're in convened communities, the platform where a purpose. And when it takes off, you're going to be like, that girl told me that and I should have invested, but I didn't listen. Don't be me. Be my friend that invested in the beginning and get your money, and come and let us teach you how to do the math, learn about your break-even point and how you can make lots and lots of money in your sleep if you choose to. Lisa, you have any final thoughts?
No, you know what? I think everybody should join.
I see. I wanted you to see this, Lisa, before we go. Matt put out there, yay, Lisa, I hear amazing things about you. Yes, you do, because I talked about
That's
that.
because Brenda's always talking about me.
And I see Robert put a full service business community. You know, the thing about it is, and Robert said that was me. I'm telling y'all, every time I think about BET, I just want to scream, because I just, yeah, we ain't even gonna go there no further. Y'all get the idea. The bottom line is, don't miss the opportunity because you was being cheap, especially when it costs you nothing to join the life community. And the links are inside my bio on Instagram. It's inside the YouTube as well, and we can get it put out on LinkedIn. It's in my link tree. It's everywhere. Or you can go to my website, brendadesolutionist.com, and make sure that you hold on, I gotta get down to this here. Oh, the comments. There we go. Get them off of there. Make sure you join us so that you too can have a business that thrives and not just survives. We've been here a long time today, y'all. But I thank all of you that came in and sat with us and listened. And those of you just going to watch on the replay, just know that we're excited about the things that's coming up, and don't miss an opportunity to hang out with us, because we're cool people. All right, y'all. As always, remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely and choose to join us in the Solutionist Portal, because we're there to make sure that your service excellence is on point, because we don't want you dying in mediocrity. It's not necessary. Be blessed, y'all.